Is it still orientation locked? All right. Are we sideways? I mean, Nick's going to have to look on his phone. Are we sideways or are we vertical? Because if YouTube Live only lets you do vertical stuff, then that means this idea of using the phone to live stream is going to be, yep. All right. So we got to be this way. All right. So we're going to be this way for now. And then we're only going to use the phones with the little lav mics.
My mechanic is going to call in the next few minutes just to give me an update on it because I took her in for 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's going to let me know.
All right. So I'm not sure if this is what we're doing here. Trying to keep the phone charging at the same time streaming. Okay, it won't lay on here unless I elevate this with something.
If you, in fact, have an iPhone charging cable,
yes,
then you can use my battery pack right here.
Okay, but the one lightning cable is being held
in the USB port
for the
rats.
For these microphones that we're using. This thing sits like there, and that sits like that. Then no. Okay, so this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work at all. We need a tripod to hold a phone elevated off, but that means we're not going to be able to charge the phone. So my phone is probably going to die. Nick, can you hold the phone?
Yes, I can.
So this is what we're doing. We're putting the phone on this. Putting the phone here. All right, so that works. So how far does this camera have to be away from us for it to see both of us?
Turn it that way. That should come.
It needs to be farther away. Thank God for these microphones.
Thank God.
So now you don't see me.
Over there by the door.
All right, all the way back here.
And then tilt. And that should.
All right, that's both of us that you hardly see us.
Do you want me to sit in your chair just so, because we know, like, I'll be here. Oh, sorry. Hit this. Chin fat is hitting the lab mic. Yeah. Oh wait, no, it's my shirt. Yeah, same difference.
It's like watching your grandmother trying to figure out how to FaceTime. Wait, no, the phone camera can only exist on an angle. Because I want, well, it's either you guys look at the floor or you look at the ceiling. One of the two. God, I hate vertical videos. But this is what we're doing right now.
This is the game.
Yeah. Are people even watching this, or did everybody just leave?
Yeah, it's 40 people.
40 people watching?
So far.
All right. All right.
Regular, we love you in Romania.
So I need a laptop so I can see the super chats. So can you guys like hear us? Are we far away, or are these mics actually working? Let us know how we sound right now.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
I mean, you could just turn on the volume on your computer.
Let's see.
It's actually working.
It says mics are good.
Let us know how we sound right now.
Yeah,
Guess we sound okay.
All right then.
All right then. Am I cropped out of the camera view again?
Hmm?
Am I in frame?
You're well. You're not in frame, but you're not
That's
cropped
okay.
out.
I need to be more specific in the questions I
You're
ask.
at the
Can
very-
you my face? Is the
Yeah,
question
I can see
should-
your face. It
All
was
right.
just like your back and your elbow were cut out.
All right. So the piano is in the way. There. Right.
Don't worry. When this goes up on Spotify or iTunes, I'll just cut out all the prep part. But
Okay.
it's funny on Spotify. There were some episodes that I had to re-add because they did not, for some reason, the
And
audio.
this thing is about to die.
Wonderful.
It's like a teacher trying to get rid. Like, okay, today we're going to watch a video, and then it's the last 5 minutes of class, and the video is like, does anybody know how to do this? And all the bat. Now I'm acting like Nick Mullen, just throwing my equipment around.
Just tossing things. You know
Yeah.
how to go.
I'm getting frustrated.
Frustration.
I may lose the mic because the signal on these microphones is like 20 feet, and you'll put a doorway in between them, and they stop working. So what do I need? I need the charging. I need to make Angry Pixies go into my laptop. Don't worry, we're going to pay attention to the chat as soon as I can.
Yeah, let's give it time.
Also now, fitting the theme of these podcasts, I'm coming down off the coffee, so that means I'm irritable and I'm thirsty. Oh, but I hope the Poang chairs will soothe my constitution. Channel monetization.
Here comes my mechanic. Guess I'm gonna answer that.
All right, Nick's got to take a phone call.
All beers.
Took his mic off.
Yellow.
And half of me just wants to put the microphone in the other room so you can just hear Nick's phone call. So he's still rocking that. Oh, can I really not go to YouTube on this laptop? So I need regular and Roman, not the main channel. Switch accounts to regular and Roman. And wait for it to load. Okay, so now we have two things on the Wi-Fi. We have the Lappy, and we have you guys. And you guys are taking up all the bandwidth. So welcome to what's going to be the new studio. It's the other room that you normally don't see. The old living room is over there. And the phone is so far over there. Freaking, I guess YouTube, when you do it on a mobile, it won't let you do landscape. It'll only let you do vertical stuff. So this is it. So what goes on when the Smoking Tire just uses iPhones as their camera? But are they using Open Broadcaster or something else? Seriously, can I not even go to YouTube on this laptop? There it goes. Okay, regular and Roman. So we're live right now. I'm going to mute the laptop. All right, so there I can see the chat. And it's starting from the very beginning. Streaming 9 minutes ago. So if I go to current, right? All right, there it is. So is it playing right now? Up, hand down, hand up, hand down, hand up. There we go. So there we go. There needs to be a lot more action going on with this set, huh? Because right now you just have a bunch of pictures, this fake wall right here, and the very brutal ceiling light up there that is dimmable. All right, so in future ones, we'll have studio lighting where you guys are going to be over there in the camera. We can dim the lights on the ceiling. Of course, you're probably not going to have it. The piano right there off to the side is going to go away. Keisha says those are the type of chairs you would find on an overpaid therapist's office. An overpaid therapist? What, IKEA chairs? IKEA, well, look, they come in a box and you put them right together, and I use my impact drill over there. And now I need it. This stream needs more Sado and masochism. Thinking about adding a ridiculously tall hookah, like right here. That'd be good. All right, so I can see the chat here. Now there's a trick. Will it let me go to my old? There it is. Okay, so now I can see super chats when they start coming in. So orientation lock, there was one super chat from Boris. Hello, Boris, saying, I'm just here for the hot dicks. Now, this phone that you're watching it on my phone, and that phone will die. At some point, this podcast will end because that thing has about 50% charge on it. So it's just going to go away at some point. Now, as the chat keeps going up on the phone, does it disappear by the time it gets to the bottom of the chairs? I think it does,
probably,
yeah.
Yeah. But mine is different in the sense that it's not a clear screen. But then again, I'm not full screen. If I were full screen, that would be.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Dude, respect to you, got no idea what it's like being Mr. Regular. Yeah, I don't know what it's like either. Live from Poang Studios until Brian's phone dies. Yep, that's pretty much how it is. But I'm super glad that the microphones, and yours is still over there because you're not mic'd up. That we have these microphones. Porta State Jr. says, do you jelk? No.
Oh man, that's a term I haven't heard in forever.
Yeah. It's like people, like the whole idea of jelking is just jacking really, really hard. Or you're supposed to like have a death grip on the base of your cock and just like, like you're trying to squeeze toothpaste out of it, and that's supposed to stretch your dick longer.
Ew.
Yeah. I've seen people hanging weights off of it and trying to like stretch the skin. But I don't think that there's no way to get more dick.
Yeah.
You can't stretch. It's not gonna be like expansion joints in a highway where you can just like the thinking is that somehow if you keep stretching your dick, your body will make more dick meat, and then you'll have a longer dick. I think what just happens is like you could stretch the skin, but whatever the penile tissue inside doesn't get any bigger or longer. It doesn't make more of it. I think at the very least, you'll have a stretched out dick, and then you can't get hard, right? Yeah.
Joey's World Sewer asks opinion on foreskin restoration. Is that
I think that's the same thing. I think it's just people like hanging weight off their dick. Ew. And then the idea that you stretch more foreskin out.
But why? No, like I don't get it.
I mean, nowadays, like you won't get a disease. Like if you're uncut, you're gonna be fine as long as you wash your goddamn dick.
Yeah.
And then you won't get dick cheese. So, and I guess sex is better because your dickhead isn't hanging out and getting like all sandpapered up from, underwear and stuff.
Well, and it's also like, well, at least with when you're uncut, it's when you're like going in raw and then you're just not washing it and all that bacteria just sits in there.
Oh, and right.
That's where like the unpleasantness manifests.
Yeah. I'm going to need water.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I used to watch a lot of Talk Sex with Sue, which was sort of this Canadian Loveline type show where it's this old lady who was kind of a nurse, but I don't think she was like a nurse. Maybe she was like a nurse practitioner or something along those lines, but yeah, just giving sex advice. And that was always one of the things of like, hey, if you're not cut, like wash your dick.
Yeah.
It's just
Wash your dick. Wash inside the skin.
Yeah,
like freaking every day.
Because her thing was like, if you're gonna put like sex toys in your body, obviously you're gonna wash them when you're done. Why would you not do the same with your dick?
Yeah.
Or if you're gonna put it in something or someone, or it's just very weird.
944 Troy says you're too far away sideways.
Nope. Oh, well, we can't do anything about moving it closer, otherwise we won't be in frame. So
yeah,
this is just, we're trying it out for this week, see how it works. And if the answer is not at all, then so be it. But
I think this will work. Like say Joe Matera says you can come podcast at the restaurant.
Yeah.
We can do a test run with this on the table. We just have to keep turning it left and right between us. Or, we're sitting quite far away right now. So I guess if we were like right next to each other at the bar, it would be fine. And so far, I think these microphones sound okay. I mean, do we sound okay?
I mean,
I can just unmute myself. We sound okay? I mean, I can just unmute myself. Do we sound okay?
Do we sound okay?
We sound okay?
You guys sound great.
Sound okay. Sound okay.
Sound okay.
Sound okay.
It's going to be all right.
Sound okay.
It's going to be all right.
Sound okay. Sound.
We're gonna make scenes.
Sound. Okay. Sound okay. Sound okay. Sound okay. You 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 sound okay.
Let me know what you want to do now. Let me know what you want to do now.
Epilepsy. Sharia law. Sharia law.
Oh wow, that came in. That came through patched in tight.
Okay, I'm muting the laptop. Oh, I can't reach the light switch for light switch rave.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that like these things can somehow peak.
Also, I just realized this is like our first podcast back since Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to Georgia to go film with Do It With Dan, the YouTube channel. Wonderful guy. I miss him already. Like the minute he left, I missed that dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying I got a man crush on Do It With Dan, but I'm just saying he's a very friendly guy and really fun to be around. And I mean, there's a lot of things where like we went to this very nice bistro where they had very nice drinks and very nice appetizers.
Oh, that mushroom and something else.
That was sensational.
What was I don't
mushroom and gnocchi, like the potato pasta. And it was just like the right consistency. You had the mushrooms on there. You had what was it? They had those potato chip nacho things with like blue cheese on it.
Yeah.
It's just,
turkey meatballs. Yeah, we went through those really quick.
We really did.
I was doing the Justin Bernash move of just instead of like each of us ordering a meal, you just order a bunch of appetizers and you all share them and then you just have drinks.
Yeah.
That's fantastic lunch.
And like the thing is
also that was super reasonable when the bill came.
Yeah.
Like I had 2 gin martinis. You had 2
an old fashioned and bourbon that wasn't like a top shelf bourbon, but it was a pretty good bourbon.
Yeah. And this was a really nice restaurant.
Really
nice and like, but it was like in an industrial park.
Yeah, it was like an industrial strip mall, and then you walk in, and it's almost like, basically the exterior and the interior are so far removed from one another that it's almost like a TARDIS type thing of it looks different on the inside than the outside. Yeah. It's just so nice in there. And the great thing is like the servers, they kind of see you're in a pretty deep amount of conversation, they just kind of leave you be. It's great.
Yeah, that guy was on point with the water.
On point.
I did not have a hangover. I had 2 gin martinis and I was fine afterwards.
Yeah.
And that place was cheap, even by today's standards. The bill was like $89.
Wow.
And so I tipped 50 on top of that.
Wow.
Just here you go.
Here you go.
Like when Justin Bernash and I go out to lunch, that's like $200.
Wow.
Between the 2 of us. I have 1 gin martini. Now, the place we go to is higher end than what we saw, but of course we order a lot of food because he'll like fast the day before to make it even better.
Yeah. It was just so satisfying. And I mean, I don't really drink much anymore, so it was really nice luxury that I allow myself every now and then when I do drink, so
Mhm.
that if I do, I'm not just sort of doing beer or something.
Yeah.
It's either like wine or whiskey or something. But those were really good drinks, and there was like smoked cherries in the old fashioned. It was just
Hell
great.
yeah.
Hell yeah! But yeah, we went to why is the name of the motorsport park?
Atlanta Motorsports Park.
All right, there we go. Atlanta Motorsports Park. Went there. Wonderful place, wonderful people, very accommodating, very welcoming. Wish we'd brought bathing suits because they had a pool
They
on
had a pool
site.
and a freaking water slide.
Yeah, with a freaking water slide. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fed us. They had it in their very nice lounge with very nice sandwiches and salads and
Hmm.
cookies and whatnot. And it felt like one of the more simple shooting days we had. Well, I mean, that's easy for me to say. I wasn't running alongside the car in that heat.
Yeah, it wasn't
Um,
all that hot.
it was just like after a while, like I started to sweat just sitting there. And you weren't there for this, but there was the subjects of the car we're doing. His dad was like standing by this like this Toyota like Highlander, I want to say, or something
Okay.
along those lines. And I couldn't tell if he was like leaning on it or what. But the lady who owned it like walked up and was like, "Can I help you, sir?" It's like, "Oh no." It's like, "Oh, because you're leaning on my car." And it's just being like really whatever. It was like, "Oh, okay." And so he's gonna go stand over here. And then throughout the rest of the shoot, we would occasionally get like just standing near the Highlander, we would hear the security thing go like a honk honk of like you're locking it with a key fob from a distance. And I'm thinking it was just like sort of her thing of like get away from my car. It's like
So the guy's dad just kept hanging around
no,
someone's
he didn't
car?
hang around. So once she asked him to move, he moved and didn't go near the car again. But you were parked next to this car, and so
Oh.
and
Oh, the
so
lifted, the
yeah,
black one? Yeah,
yeah.
I know what you're
And
talking about.
so, like, anytime we were around your car, not even touching her car, she would just kind of, hit I'm
Wonder whose
assuming she would just
car
hit the key
I
fob.
wonder
And
whose car that was.
I don't know. She was very protective of her lifted freaking Highlander looking
Yeah.
thing that I'm just, nobody cares.
I'm beginning to think that was a Sequoia because I remember it being bigger than the Forerunner.
Yeah, I think you're right,
And a
actually.
Highlander is about
Yeah.
the same size. But anyway, that's me splitting hairs. Highlander, Sequoia, both kind of mobiles. I guess
It's,
a Sequoia is technically a truck still, but in the Highlander is body on frame. Or excuse me, not body on frame, unibody.
it's just strange to me that it's like, did she not see what we were there to film or what Dan showed up
No
driving?
one pays attention to anything.
No.
In retrospect, I should have parked away from truck, but I'm like, oh, Toyota truck car. I'm going to park. I'm going to have a Toyota. I'll put my Forerunner right next to this. See, I like things too.
Yeah.
But I guess, it did have the sort of rock star type wheels on it and the off-road tires that never go off-road. Cushman or something with a super chat saying, can I add you on F list? Oh, my F list is under lock and key. That's me time. You think you're going to come in on me time? You think you're going to get in on my spanky time? I don't think you can even RP at my level. You're just probably going to just woo me for like and waste my... You look like the type of guy who'd waste my heart on.
Waste.
Marcus King. Also, thank you for liking regular car reviews. Marcus King. Thank you for the donation. I am currently reviving XL Motors, Jamaica's only car company. Would you be ever interested in reviewing one? We produce the Island Cruiser. I'm interested. Yeah. Do I have to fly to Jamaica? I'm guessing. Do we need visas for Jamaica?
Hmm.
Are like our passports enough?
Passport should be good enough.
Yeah. But then at the same time, I'd be embarrassed being, oh, American going to Jamaica. He's just going to want what every other American Jamaica wants. Bob Marley music, skunk weed,
Yeah.
skunk weed that he's going to say is legit. And I don't know, he's going to ask for Coronas or something like that.
Yeah.
I would feel very, very self-conscious going to Jamaica.
I'd feel kind of self conscious going anywhere. It's to the point where you just I don't know. I almost feel like our Q rating in the entire world is just at rock bottom levels, and
Yeah.
so
Hopefully Australia is still cool with Americans.
I can't imagine they wouldn't be, man.
Yeah, we were talking about RCR Australia, I think on the car ride back, and it was my intention to do it 2024. I know that's 2 years away, but that means it's the U.S. federal election in 2024, which means Nick and I go get mail-in ballots. We mail in our ballots and immediately leave the country.
And just fuck off.
Fuck off with
All
the
the
20.
way
I don't
off.
care. I already know what I'm going to do. Why do I need to be around for the ads? Why do I need to be around for everybody's opinions? Just leave.
It'd be like when we fucked off to New Zealand and just weren't there for the chaos after the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
people like spreading Crisco on traffic poles
yeah.
or stoplight poles. It was so out of control, but hilarious to me the way that people just completely lost their shit. And it made me wonder like how much worse it would have been if we'd lost. Just they'd still
If
be
we
cleaning it
lost,
up
holy crap, that'd be National Guard time.
because that was a very close game, all
Mhm.
things considered.
Philly.
Yeah, go Birds, I guess.
Frederick, with a strange donation, just want to say, love the show, all of your content. Thanks, Frederick. And right about now, I think Frederick Newton is streaming.
Oh, yeah, he's on Twitch.
He's on Twitch streaming at the same time we are, probably with more exciting stuff. He has like guests, and they have AV avatars, and they talk to each other, and they do it remotely, I think.
Nice.
And it's just them just looking at memes for like 4 hours.
Wow.
I'd have to have like coffee to start, a nice meal, and then my 2 gin martinis.
Yeah.
And then I'd be ready for talking some shit.
Stamina it would take for 4 hours.
4 hours of just looking at a computer screen.
Yeah, I think the longest we've ever gone is 3:24-ish.
Was Ben here?
No, it was one of the RCR After Darks where we were drinking.
Okay, yeah.
Another one, there was the regular beer reviews with Tom Mix that went like 3:20.
Yeah.
So that was like, we do have the ability.
Okay, so you said the audio was gone. That's probably because my phone was ringing. Is the audio back now?
Do you have
Is the audio back?
Can you hear me?
Can you
All right,
audio's
hear
back.
me?
Audio
Is it
is
the mic? Is it just the little mic? Can you hear me whispering into the little mic? Are you hearing me whispering into the little mic? Beepus, beepus, beepus. What am I saying? Beepus, 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 beepus.
All right, good.
good. Very good.
Oh, is my Casio keyboard dying?
What kind of batteries does that take?
4 double A's.
Oh,
Or is it just a volume that's fucked up? Yeah, good.
Mambo. Yeah, it's. So,
All right,
yeah.
so what did we learn? We learned that if my phone rings during my... Oh, there's a voicemail.
Oh boy.
Oh, there's a voicemail. Yeah, hi, Brian. This is Brian Barger with the Mercedes. Oh, okay. I submitted... Okay, yeah.
Cool.
We've been asking for like Mercedes and stuff like that. So, congratulations, you called in while we were live streaming, so you're on it. If I wonder if I can text him just from the lappy here.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Maybe if it has like a connection.
I mean like text him back with Google Voice.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'm able to. Well, I mean, usually I'm able to do that because my phone links to a program on Windows that allows me to access my phone in there. So.
Oh, he left a voicemail.
Very nice.
Oh, but he says his number, so I'm not going to play the voicemail. So you can give me a call any time of day, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to text him back. Hello, this is Brian, live streaming right now. We'll call you back when we're done. There it goes. Which Grand Seiko is best Grand Seiko? Any one, because I don't own one. And that's going to be like a pretty good gift for me at some point, I'll get one.
I think there are some super chats.
Super chats?
Up
Okay.
top, ahead of the Grand Seiko.
Okay.
So last one was Frederick with just want to say love the show and all your content with NOK 109.
So I got War Sounds here with $6.99. Nice.
Nice.
Stoked to see you reposting Sergey lectures. Such an incredible. Yeah. That guy rules. The thing I love about Michael's lectures, such an incredible orator, research, especially for uneducated dinguses like myself. Yeah.
So who is this?
It's this professor who just does comparative philosophy lectures, and they're from like the early '90s.
Very nice.
And it's just somebody. Okay, let's walk you through Kant and Kierkegaard and Hegel. Here's a crash course. It's going to take an hour.
Nice.
And it's like you're just sitting in a lecture, and I can drift in and out of the lecture. I've listened to some of them twice. This isn't for a grade. There's no test.
Yeah.
That's what I like. And he's fantastic.
It's for your own edification.
Yeah. And I'll have it on in the background while I'm editing. I've fallen asleep to them.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than a class that you don't care about.
Absolutely. Get that sensation of sitting in on class.
Yeah.
You have no skin in the game. You're just there.
No, I don't. Is this on the test? Is this on the test? Should I be writing stuff down right now?
Yeah. The freedom to go to a lecture and not have to write anything down. It must be incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes me jealous of people with eidetic memory of just being able to recall, perfect recall. But then I feel like that stretches to everything else, including the embarrassing moments, which play in sharp relief.
Yeah.
Inside the crucible of the mind. Ugh.
Yeah, just sitting there. No biggie. Podcast. The guy who texted me back. No biggie. Podcast is loose and easy.
Loose and easy.
You can.
Just like me.
We're live right now, and I'm typing to you on a laptop. We're on our second channel, regular and Roman. So like ... So like ellipsis. This is now part of the podcast. Me, each one of these is an individual text, by the way. Me, texting you. What are we talking about? Kierkegaard or something like that?
Yeah.
If you were pooping right, Boris says, if you were pooping right now, what song would you be singing? Every single day I take a dump and then I do it again. And then I sing the song again. This is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. In between time, we go in and out. And I think about you, but you don't have a face. You're just a name, but I'm just a name too. What is a name? It's just a sound. Who are we really? Why can't I form relationships right? I think I'm too horny. Then I don't care. After I bust, I watch World Rally Championship clips. Look at the car fly. What are you doing here? Why are you still here?
Oh, that's great.
MC Devo says, "Hi, love the content you guys do. Do you have any reviews lined up for the F80 M3? Do not. G80, no, or an M5. We've done plenty of
I
M5s.
think we have, yeah.
Yeah, we need to do Mercedes because we've been neglecting them. We'd love to hear your opinion on them. Bye, kiss, kiss, kiss." Well, yeah, no, I'm not nothing going on with that. Love to. I don't know why I feel like I need to project. I mean, my mic is just clipped to my shirt, so
Yeah.
I don't think I have to project like that.
There
love-
is. Oh, sorry. No, I was going to say there's a super chat from Ron Cheeseman we skipped.
Boris, okay, Ron Cheeseman, there it is.
There we go.
Go ahead and read it. I'm just going to take it.
Is Ron Cheeseman is saying I got a good deal on a new 2020 Honda Ridgeline in late 2020 a good enough cope for driving a 2020 Honda Ridgeline?
No, I mean there are no deals. It's just I had money to buy a car at the end. That's it.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean we have yet to drive a Honda Ridgeline. There's a recent submission for a Honda Ridgeline, but it's all out in Pittsburgh.
Boo.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
exactly.
Boo.
Bard says, "Are you guys getting a new studio to compete with the Adam Friedland show?" No, it's just a coincidence that that they were building a studio and I was going to do this. But I was talking to this one like TikTok producer who lives nearby, and he said get a studio and try to make the podcast look more legit. And this is the very beginnings of it. Buying these chairs. The next is going to be getting rid of the piano that you can't see over there, getting some cameras that look better, and then hiring Ethan, who was on the podcast later, to be a producer, or rather a production assistant. So he'll probably have the laptop, but I think if we do 2 cameras plus the mixer, then that means that I'm going to have to use my old computer, my old desktop. Hopefully that'll stream and handle streaming, because that has multiple USB things going in it. Because we're going to need to have 2 cameras coming in, and then using Open Broadcaster to cut in between the 2. So,
Ron
yeah.
Cheeseman says that's his Ridgeline in the submission.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right. So
Small
you're in
world.
Pittsburgh, and I went, ugh. Pittsburgh.
Well, I mean, how many times have we been like, ugh, Pittsburgh on the podcast?
Nearly
Like,
every other.
yeah,
No,
every other. Well, I mean, because
it's terrible to film in Pittsburgh. It's very pretty. The roads are crap. It's always congested. You have to go way outside town. Like when I filmed the Justin Lose's Model T. Like it's really revolves around when Justin's going to finish his house. I think we're invited over. I'm sure we're invited over, but have a place to film. So there's no way we're filming within the borough of Pittsburgh again.
yeah,
It's going to be outside of town. It's going to be drive an hour outside of town, and then we could film. Pittsburgh is just long enough to be a dickish drive.
Yeah.
They say, oh, you can get there in 4 hours. No, it's 5 hours.
Yeah, it's 5 hours. It's never not been 5 hours in my experience.
I think I got through once, but then I was driving to Foster's house. But that's because I got up at 5 in the. I like left at 5 in the morning. I got up and started driving to Cincinnati in the Sarah. So, but then again, if I'm driving to Cincinnati on the Turnpike, I'm not going anywhere near Pittsburgh. So I just get to stay on the Turnpike and just blast into Ohio and not have to do that last bullshit bit where you go into the town of Pittsburgh. Paul Unsatch says, "Did you watch Dahmer yet?" I don't know if I'll finish it. No, I didn't. I don't like movies about serial killers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the work of Ryan Murphy, and I think that's who's behind it. And he's like the guy who did like Glee and American Horror Story and all that stuff. And there's just such a formula to it, and there's such a weird, I don't know, everything he does, even when it's not based on anything true, just feels incredibly exploitative, which I suppose this would also be, just because it is real people and it is. There's sort of like this whole thing of how Dahmer preyed on like poor people and gay people because he knew like the authorities weren't really going to look into it.
Mm.
And then like the authorities found one of the victims who escaped and actually brought him back to Dahmer because they just figured it was like a lover's quarrel and they didn't want to be put in the middle of it. And it's just one of those messed up situations where I don't know why. I don't know. I felt the same way about the Ted Bundy thing of like, why do we have to make more shows about this
Yeah,
and
why do we
movies
have to
about
go
this?
back to the well?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, like that well is dry. That horse has been Elmer's glue for Lord
Nice.
knows how fucking long, and it's something where I don't know to what extent people are actually expecting to get any edification out of it, rather than just some vague prurient interest. And I don't know. It's just too much, and it's almost like misery porn. It's just like you're watching something that is miserable for its own sake, not towards any other purpose. It's not even entertaining. Like I've been watching Sandman or The Sandman on Netflix, which is very like interesting and very, I don't know, fun in a fashion. And it's kind of fun in a way that I guess the early phases of the comic weren't, but yeah, actually that's not really true because the comic's pretty great too. But uh and I've just been doing other things that feel like more productive, even when they don't have to do with this. There's that new Sam Barlow video game, Immortality, where you play a film restorer going through footage of three separate movies.
What is my Twitch password? I want to go on and goof to Frederick Knudsen, but anyway, keep talking.
Oh yeah, no,
Like I'm literally going to go off camera right now. I have to turn on my computer because I'm logged into Twitch on this one.
mm.
What were we talking about? Dahmer or something like
Oh
that?
yeah, Immortality. So it's this video game where you play as this um, film historian, like you work in film restoration. You have three separate movies of this actress who disappeared, and all three of her movies were never released. And you got to find out why and whatever happened to her. And it's really weird, and you have no idea what you're supposed to be doing. You just figure it out as you go along, and it ends up being really compelling in a very strange and abstract sort of way. And so, yeah, I just found it on a Game Pass, and that was pretty great. We actually do have a question from the regular chat. Oh, and also a super chat.
Yeah, there's a super chat saying that
Yeah.
you're holding the
Holding the mic
microphone
like a
like a
doobie.
doobie.
It's true. I just don't
Well, he
trust
doesn't
it
have a
on-
collared shirt to clip it to.
Yeah,
So what are you
and
going to do?
even if I did, I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't trust me to keep it in place and not just be
Right.
swallowing the mic the whole time.
Mm.
But yeah, Curtis Lumber says, question for Brian and Roman. Currently driving a 2017 Civic Si and thinking about selling it every year. 60,000 miles and 5 years old. Does it make a difference if I keep waiting and putting on miles? I feel like the lower the mileage is probably the best deal you're ever going to get from somebody because that's going to be, I think we're in a place with the used car market where people are looking for lower mileage vehicles because the onus is on them to keep it for longer and longer so that by the time people are ready to move on to the next car, they would preferably have liked to have racked up, I don't know, 200.
Come on, really? All right, the password of my Twitch account that I wrote down.
Yeah, the used car market's a hot mess express, and if you want to get a good price for it, the lower the mileage, the better it is, I would imagine, provided that it's in good working order the rest of the time and decent cosmetic shape. I mean, there is a sort of premium being placed on cosmetic appearance, which I get, but for me, that's never been as important as actual function. I mean, Betty's not as pretty as she could be, but she still works, and that's all that matters.
What do your mechanics say?
Oh, that rattling that I kept hearing was just a piece of something. I forget exactly. He's going to send me the report. that it just took out, and that was pretty much it. Because I was hearing this weird rattle, it was driving me nuts.
So he didn't say what it was?
He said what it was, I just don't remember.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just kind of like, in total, what's this going to cost me mode, and it was completely reasonable, so I'm not worried about it.
You feel like disclosing what it's going to cost you?
Yeah, not really, but
All right.
because I feel like any answer is going to sound like too much for
Yeah.
considering the age of the car and everything. But yeah, it's on the subject of the used car market that this person was talking about. I read this report, or not a report, it was an article from somebody to the effect of to be on the lookout in the next several months with used cars because of Hurricane Ian, and shout out to the people
Oh,
in
flood
Florida.
cars.
Yeah, that they're going to get sent up north, and they're not going to have, they're going to, I don't know, it's just salvage vehicles that are, you got to be on the lookout for water damage and make sure that you're not getting rooked by people, which is easier said than done if you don't know how to look for those things yourself, or if you don't have someone, to have a look at it for you. And because I imagine a lot of those cars are going to sound too good to be true. And of course, you have like Elon Musk out there today saying that like the Cybertruck is waterproof enough to be able to act for a short period as a boat.
Define act.
Yeah, like okay, what are you really doing? I wish I could pull up the tweet without murdering my phone right now, but it's something where I just feel like I don't know. It's like vaporware almost. It feels like a car that exists solely as a meme, and that it's just not going to come out, or if it does come out to the larger public,
Yeah.
it's just something that is not going to live up to whatever wild, harebrained, crazed promise is being projected about it. And I'm talking like full-throated projection. This is like worthy of you know, of Liz Carmichael or frickin', Preston Tucker, of just people who are out there just saying things. And granted, like, ugh, it's almost like you can't talk about Elon Musk without people getting ready to cape for him like they're superheroes or something.
Yeah.
Which it's like, in the grand scheme of things, I don't care about Elon Musk. Like, I
No.
just don't. And I don't understand why anyone does, other than that he's wealthy and that he nominally does technological things. And I'm sure, maybe at some point, if he wants it, like, I don't even know. There is no good way to talk about Elon Musk without inspiring the ire of somebody, because either
Yeah.
you care too much or you don't care enough. So
Right.
that's why, like in Tesla reviews that we do, we just sort of don't talk about him anymore, because it's like,
Yeah.
why would you address the elephant in the room?
Yeah.
And just let the elephant sit there and eat his peanuts.
Yeah. Even in the review that's coming out Monday, Teslas are relevant to the car we reviewed, but we keep it to an absolute minimum.
Absolute minimum.
Even the guy that we met at lunch today or riding today, he had
Yeah.
like, I have a Tesla and I love it, but he doesn't sound like a car guy, even though he knew what
He
the chicken
knows.
test was.
Yeah.
Like, I like technology, and I'm like, fantastic piece of technology, but you know what? Like, I recognize that people need to be allowed to enjoy the things they like,
Yes.
even if what they enjoy is regressive is the wrong word, misguided. But then if I say misguided, then that's who Tokyo Lloyd says Frederick Knudsen has of course he does. Like, he's making bank off of that. Like, right now I'm on Frederick Knudsen's Twitch channel. I can't hear him. I don't know what he's talking about. They're just he's live streaming other people's like memes, or now he's on Reddit looking at something.
Yuri from Straight Pipes streams classic racing games. That's a pretty fun watch, just because so many of them are games I haven't thought of in forever. But yeah, it's very entertaining the way
He
everyone's
streams
getting.
what classic racing games, like Nintendo stuff or something.
Yeah, like classic, like PlayStation games, and just racing them.
Huh,
It's good
interesting.
stuff.
I was over at Greg's house the other day, looking for more stuff. Or now Fred is just watching someone play Cyberpunk 2077, I think. When I play video games, my talking part of my brain doesn't work.
Ah,
Like even when I watch videos of people playing stuff in video games, the talking part of my brain doesn't work. So even if we had something where we had a CRT TV, which I kind of want, like right here, that would be a neat thing to have, like an old TV right here, and it would be playing something.
yeah.
Or if it would play, like the stream in the stream of it going by.
Yeah. Of just
Um,
almost like a ticker for
Yeah,
stocks.
just going by like in that. I mean, I have that portable monitor that we use like once over there. That could be a thing in
That
here.
could be a thing.
Yeah. Fred has the ability to just talk about nonsense for a while, of which I am jealous. And that doesn't mean that we're doing this, but he's just doing it alone, and that's some like Bill Burr level stuff. Of course, how many people? There's 85 people watching us, 2 real people, and there are how many people on his channel? Twitch right now? Does it say? 524 people watching his channel
Wow.
right now. And he's been at it for 2.5 hours.
The only time I can remember that many people watching us
How
is
do you just
during the
How do you just do this for hours? For houses, for hours. Don't answer, you're muted, because I'm streaming too. Get an early 2000s projection screen TV. That'd be awesome. That'd be too big for here.
yes.
Yeah, that's like a bank vault. CRT TV with 15 kilohertz whine to scare off anybody under 25. Interesting, yeah. Get an old TV and paint the screen green and just put the video in digitally. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, that could be a
Yeah,
thing. You
that
could
could-
almost do anything. You could just make just hang a picture on the wall and just have a green piece of construction paper behind it.
That could work. I mean, I don't see why not. It's changing over time.
Boz says it's clips of a bad video game, AI. Yeah. Ooh, now there's 81 people watching right now.
Ooh.
Do we have more super chats to do?
Um,
I feel like I could go longer just because now I'm not sitting in those hard chairs over there.
yeah, and technically, I mean, if you take out the fidgeting beginning, we've really only been going like 30 minutes, 35. So,
Nicole, I guess that's all the super chats for now.
well, keep
Keep
regular
on doing
chat.
it.
Just
Yeah.
send us.
Like if we get guests in the future, we're gonna need a third chair.
Yeah.
And I went to Goodwill yesterday with the Viper truck. Oh yeah, that thing ended. I gotta give the truck back on Saturday. I went to Goodwill yesterday with the truck, hoping to get some. I need to go to the auction. That's what I got to do after this.
The auction?
Yes, there is an auction. There is a silent auction. I didn't know every single weekend out yonder, and that's what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to get in the Viper truck. Actually, no, I don't. What do I need the truck for? Just use the Nairo. I'm going to go over there and search for like furniture and stuff, and then you bid just on a piece of paper. You just like sign in, and then the actual auction is like Saturday or Sunday, but you don't have to be there for it. It's like, this is my highest bid, and you just write it on the thing.
It's like a raffle. You just put it in there, and you're like, oh, okay.
But everybody can see like what the bids are. So it's just a piece of paper on the item.
Yeah.
And you just write your name, and I guess I got to go register. So that's what I'm doing after this. I guess maybe it's easier. Internet humor, like, I don't get it. It's just it just feels like a copy of a copy of a copy of everything.
Well, yeah, it's a
You're just
Xerox.
reacting to other people's reactions. And it's stirred content. It's your whole snake eating its tail mentality.
Yeah, it's what it is skid lines on a go-kart track. It's
Mhm.
just over and over and over
Yeah.
creating this weird scribble. Which again, like in Georgia, we got to go on the go-karts with do it with Dan, and it was great because after we had our like private session, we just went again for fun.
Yeah.
And ended up getting lapped by a bunch of 12-year-olds, which is, well, not a bunch, it was like two 12-year-olds.
Dude, I didn't get well. Yeah, each
I
one of
got
us got lapped by 12-year-olds. I passed them, but they would just go balls out
Yeah.
and then spin out, and then I could pass them. And I had this one glorious moment where I knew I'm just out there having my best day on the go-karts. I'm not
trying to
terrible
race, right?
racer. So I just pull over to the right on we have a straight, and I do a head check. I see two people behind me. My arm goes out, give them a point by, and they just, I just let off the throttle, give them a point by, and they go by. And then I start racing again, driving faster again. And I start catching up to the second person who passed me. I'm like, I could pass them back. I could dive in on this corner and get him again. But then does that make me like a double dick that the person would think I gave them a point by just to pass them?
Maybe, but I don't think that amount of well, actually, I was going to say, like, I don't think that amount of thought goes into it. But if you're having that thought in real time, maybe it does. Because, I mean, I know the entire time I'm there, I'm just trying to be faster than my last time, which apparently is how it works.
Yeah.
But I meant literally that, like, straight towards the end where it just tells you your speed. I'm just trying to, it's not even your lap time. It's just telling you how fast you're going. It's like, all right, I'm going 40. I want to go 42 my next lap during this straight. And it's something where I was Mario Karting the shit out of it in that I kept going into like the rumble strips because I would brake too late.
Yeah.
That was my first time doing go-karts on an outdoor track.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very different thing. And also the sun got in my face really bad.
Totally did, yeah.
That hill going up. And it was just like, I sound like a struggle elf. Like, just going up the hill.
Like the second we got out, like the second time, I forgot to bring my contacts to the race car, to the track. So I just had my medium-sized glasses shoving them in the full face, and they hurt so much that they allowed me to wear, like I have an Arai half helmet, like an open face, legit racing helmet. And even though the people said you should really be wearing a full face here because there's no wind protection and stones get thrown around, and I'm like, well, I won't sue anybody. I had a balaclava underneath as a liner. I pulled the balaclava up, so at least there was something there.
Yeah, like
but what I could do is I could tilt the helmet forward because it did have a sun visor. And I was able to pull that little sun visor over my eyes because initially when I got out, I'm like, these things don't go really that fast. I mean, my eyeglasses will cut the wind. They did not cut the wind. The first time I was like squinting, like, oh, this is a lot of wind. So, but if I could tilt the helmet down a little bit, then the little sun visor, now I'm looking like Judge Dredd out there. Like that could filter the wind out. I mean, looking back, yeah, I should have just brought my own racing helmet and or had I known that that's what I would need. Actually, no, the open face came in really handy because on Atlanta Motorsports Park, unlike Harris Hill, anybody who's out on the main track, even for a goof, you have to be wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
So then I was glad to have an open face and not have to film with a full face and stuff like that, or something like that.
Sweet Low Sound says, Mr. Regular, did you ever finish your private pilot training? Did you do a check ride?
No. My bag is only there. I think I still only have 6 hours, and I haven't flown in a year. So no. I've been treating pilot stuff as a nice treat now and again.
Now and again.
I think Greg and I were supposed to go fly sometime this week. That didn't happen because Greg owns a second rental property that's attached to the garage he has. Like he really wanted the garage where he keeps all his stuff and his 2 Mustangs and things. But it came with a house, and he's like, I don't really like managing rental properties, but I got to use this house. I got to rent it out.
Yeah.
So he's been over there. He had a tenant staying there for the past like 15 years. And now they finally left. So there's 15 years worth of wear and tear. And so he's doing a bunch of painting, replacing a whole bunch of electrical outlets. It's another one of these houses, kind of like this, which are old turn of the century symmetrical houses. And that one, you know how there's a bedroom in this house that's only accessible through the bathroom?
The bathroom, yeah.
Well, this house is a 2-bathroom. They do have a powder room down, which is, I don't know if people in other parts of the country use the term powder room. It's really just a bathroom. Just a toilet and a sink. So this one has a toilet and a sink on the first floor. Second floor has a bed and has a bathroom, but it's only accessible through the master bedroom. So that's tough because this is like a 3-bedroom house. This is a family house.
Yeah.
And that's sort of super weird that you'd have to walk through mom and dad's room to take a shower. That's odd.
That is odd.
I mean, it would be great if it was just, a mom and a dad and a single kid, because then you could use the 2 other bedrooms. But the 2 other bedrooms have a shared door. Like 2 hotel rooms, like the old style hotel rooms that have the door in between them.
Yeah.
Or the double door. This has, the door in between the bedrooms. Why was that a thing in like 18th century houses?
I have no loving idea.
No, or 1800s houses, excuse me. That's 19th century.
Well, what's weird about it is, okay, it all depends on what kind of shower taker you are. If it's weird to have to walk through mom and dad's room, are you the type to get undressed in your room and then walk to the bathroom, or do you get undressed in the bathroom?
I would get, because growing up, mom and dad had the master bathroom, but then there was another bathroom for Tim and I. Yeah. So I remember I would get undressed in the bathroom, but coming out of the bathroom, I'd be wearing a towel and I'd ball up my clothes and throw them in the hamper.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole family, we were very much like in the bathroom type people, but now that when you're living with someone and you have that sense of, physical freedom, like last night I just freaking got naked, I actually had to put something in the recycling because I had razors and that little plastic packaging I wanted to put in recycling. I'm just walking through the living room naked, just dropping, whatever, and they're not worried about a thing. And then I just go and have my shower, use my Manscaped package, the complimentary with the ball toner. It's just great. It's just fantastic.
Now people on Frederick's channel are talking about furries.
I mean,
I'm just watching the chat go by, and you're talking about furries, and that is adorable. DORABLE.
Aren't furries kind of the new Godwin's law of the internet?
I don't know. I thought Big Clown Love, like ICP, overtook that. Or I don't. Wait, they're the what of the what?
Godwin's law. It's like on a long enough timeline, any conversation will inevitably turn towards.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think now that company, like if Disney and Pixar are making movies, okay, then they recognize that there's money to be made. It's like I was listening to Greg Fitzsimmons' podcast the other night, and they said like the turning point for black comedy in terms of like networks was the Kings of Comedy tour, because that thing made so much money outside of movies and stuff.
You mean like the original Kings of God, like Steve Harvey, Hewley Bird? I had no idea it made that, but that's one of my favorite stand-up movies.
Yeah,
I love that movie. Like the whole Cedric the Entertainer bit about how people, when they used to fight in the club, they wouldn't really fight; they would just break dance, and he's doing all the dancing. Or you know, the Bernie Mac bit of like him upstairs, like
Yeah.
I want to get some milk and cookies, and or the Steve Harvey. And I get it, people don't like Steve Harvey, but I love his bit on the Titanic.
What do you mean people don't like Steve Harvey?
Oh, plenty of people hate Steve Harvey.
For what?
He has really atavistic attitudes about sort of what you're capable of doing unless you live a religious life. It's kind of like he has
Okay.
like he's very much like that. And
Was that like the stuff when he's not talking about every man should have like these 5 pieces of clothing, and then you make a whole suit? Every single one of these jackets goes through every single one of these pants, or
I don't even know. It's just one of those things where, like, for the most part, I don't try to find out what people are like when I'm trying to consume their work. And I know that's probably not the most moral stance to take for a person, but by the same token, I'm able to separate when Eddie Griffin says like certain things that are not politically correct, and also but pick up on the things that he does say that are
Mhm.
very insightful about how energy doesn't dissipate, it's transferred, or other things about it's just when I'm going to die, and you're trying to keep me around, that's not for me, that's for you. It's like I'm already trying to see what the next shit is like. Let me go. Like that type of stuff.
Huh.
And Eddie Griffin is a very like I like his comedy a lot. I love Patrice O'Neal's comedy a lot.
Oh yeah.
Freaking George Carlin. I love Bill Burr. These are all the people. Bo Burnham. All
Yeah.
the people that I just love watching do their craft, because it is very much a craft thing. And by the same token, the original Kings of Comedy tour, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that movie,
Yeah.
because it is, you're watching people who are very much masters at their craft.
Yeah.
And there's something about it that I can't really sum up in simplistic terms. And that was kind of one of the things that I wish that we had gotten into on the Adam Friedland show, of just talking about comedy. But again, I understand why they don't want to talk about it, because it's the same reason why we don't necessarily want to talk about cars to, people that we meet, because it's work for us.
Yeah.
But by the same token, like there was Tesla guy at the cafe, but 30 minutes before that, an hour before that, there was the little old ladies
from the Chamber of Commerce
who were talking about like they
well,
can't see electric
Teslas.
cars.
I don't think that's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
They gotta like dump all this stuff, and they started talking about like it's a very reductive conversation to have with elderly people when you bring up electric cars if they don't like them, because they just say they're polluting more, and you're going to tax the electrical infrastructure, and then like it's instantly dismissed as like without even giving the art based on what. And it's like, well, you're gonna, and true, the international, we are strip mining third world countries for lithium right now. Yes. And this is not and you can't justify it. You can't even do a whataboutism argument about it. Yes. Yep. Countries are fucking up, third world countries, to get the lithium. And unless this whole idea of like sodium ion batteries or whatever. This is now a stock podcast. Oh, I can't get to and I don't have the login for my TD Ameritrade here. QuantumScape. That's the company. That's the company I have some money invested in. They're making solid state batteries. Now, right now, people are hyping solid state batteries as if they're going to be the next, saving grace. It will help a bunch. Now they're doing they're giving Muskian promises of solid state, saying we're going to triple the amount of energy in battery packs.
Is this what the Prius thing was about?
Yeah, like Toyota supposedly 2025 will have solid state batteries. Based on these nuts. Yeah, based on what? These nuts? Oh, what was the other one? I forget the one, like who had knocked on Cassandra or Cassidy. There's this one joke. It's not Cassidy, but it's, can you see this dick, Cassidy? It's something, can you see my dick in your mouth? Or can you fit, Cassidy? Can you see? Can you see something? Dick in your mouth. It's someone's name. Dick in your mouth. It's Cassidy. What? Cassidy? Dick in your mouth? Something like that. They are finding sources for lithium in North America. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Go strip mine some flyover country. See if I care. Cadence. Candence?
Candace?
Candace dick fit in your mouth. There it is. Candace dick in your mouth.
Candace.
Candace. Candace dick in your mouth.
It's weird.
Candace fit by dick.
Candace dick fit in your mouth?
How does it go? Boris says it's
know.
Candace. How's the rest of the joke go?
Candace. I feel like
Candace dick in your mouth, but that's not a sentence.
It's
Candace
weird.
dick fit in your mouth. I guess that's it.
Do they still make people named Candace? I haven't known anyone named Candace since like 10th grade.
I can pee. I have to pee, and half of me wants to take the wireless mic into the bathroom.
Go for it.
But I don't know if that'll get us flagged or something.
Why would it? For all anyone knows, you're pouring out water into your toilet.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Who knows what the algorithm?
Who knows? Yeah.
Who knows what the almighty algorithm?
Who knows? You know, I guess I have to go fuck myself.
Master breakfast at the Promise Motel. Well, I'm declipping the microphone and just putting it here.
So yeah, I feel like these elderly ladies, very, very sweet ladies, who had this inborn mistrust of electric cars, which is fine. But for me, it read a little bit like, and I think this is a line that I'm putting in one of the upcoming videos or something similar to it, but it is, they look at it the way that you would look at a house made of gingerbread and candy pillars if you've already read Hansel and Gretel. Like if you haven't read it, then hey, what a wonderful, cute little house. But if you have, then you kind of see it for the trap it is. And they're expecting it to be this trap where it's something that seems nice on the surface, but then once you get behind those walls, you know, you're pretty much screwed. But yeah, I mean, it's something where I don't know that you're going to necessarily sell the older generation on electric cars without doing some sort of, like, even the infrastructure isn't enough. You would have to be able to tell them and show them in a quantitative way that this is somehow not just better, but workable and convenient. Because a lot of the older generation, maybe they don't live in houses that accommodate electric vehicle ownership. But by the same token, are they necessarily the type of people who are going to want electric vehicles anyway? You like the familiarity of internal combustion. You like the sensation of being behind something that makes noise and advances, but an electric car is just so quiet. And it's just one of those things where just sitting there wondering if it's even on because it's not making any noise, or it's just a very soft hum, like your car is idling just before turning the ignition in an internal combustion car. And so, yeah. People afraid of electric cars are the kind to be afraid of nuclear power. Yeah. Although I did not finish watching that Netflix documentary on 3 Mile Island. So I should probably watch that.
I need more water.
Water. Sunny. Yesterday my life filled with rain. Sunny girl. All right, let's see what's in the news. Well, Coolio died, so there's that. I mean, I don't think they said what or how he died, but yeah, sadly passed away. But it's funny because I can't think of a single other Coolio song at the moment other than Gangsta's Paradise.
All right.
I mean, I know he did other songs. It's just a matter of not being able to think of them.
Coolio died. I am gay. Aaron Crutchfield says fantastic voyage. Facebook boomers are a special breed. I think the next gen of EVs will be the biggest change, especially the wireless charging. What if I put this directly on the, like right there? Will it peak if I do that? Yes, songs he wrote.
I'm trying to see if it'll peak. There's a delay here.
I could just do it on the laptop there.
That's true. Oh, there we go.
I guess I'd have to say it here. Title of my new book. Amazing music. Quality content. The Racing Mind says best here in hip hop. This is a poetry podcast now. I'm literally going to read the stream. Still nobody said anything. Still nobody said anything. Casio, yeah, because I have the microphone like clipped to it, because otherwise I'm going to be way down here and you can't hear me. Actually, let me hear what that sounds like. Okay, this is me talking with a microphone on the. Okay, this is me talking with a microphone on this. And this is me talking with it right up here.
You are hearing
This is me
me
talking
talk.
with it right up here. Okay, wow, that's a thing.
You are hearing
This is me
me
talking
talk.
with it right up here. Okay, wow, that's. Oh, this is awesome. Maybe I should be up here. Does that sound better? Less high pitched? Or maybe it's just the feedback from the laptop. Or if you go lower, it's the da 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 sound. You can answer questions while I do this.
Or I'm just adjusting something on the internet.
Yeah, when you get the feedback from the computer, people who have earphones are really gonna hate that.
Yeah.
Is it gonna feedback if I peek right here? Pay attention, people wearing headphones. This is gonna sound really bad in a second. Bad in a second.
This kind of goes hard. This kind of goes hard. Yeah. Life is getting bigger than the walls around me. Life is feeling bigger than the faults that found me. Sun on the horizon, another grand era desperado. When the sun goes down, I'm Banderas.
And play the demo.
Discover this dick.
Stick that in your algorithm and suck my dick.
Stick that in your algorithm. Wow.
All right. How long have we been doing this?
Well, we just got a super chat.
Oh,
Peter
hey.
Lehman. Peter Lehman, $5. Thank you so much. My 05 Corolla XRS was rear-ended, got an 07 SI, but the VTEC doesn't feel as fun. Should I look for another 2ZZ car or just be happy with what experience I had?
I mean, okay. The XRS is a fantastic car. Granted, the power band is more narrow than the gears between the gears, in the space between the gears.
In the space between...
No, an 07 SI, an American SI, isn't going to feel as good and isn't going to be as expressive as an 05 Corolla. And it's not going to be a 90s VTEC. Should I look for another 2ZZ car? Just be happy with what I have. Well, right now, like, look, you have a car. Like, being fiscally conservative, just be happy with the car you have right now.
Absolutely.
If this is your only car, then yeah, just your only car should not bankrupt you. the 2ZZ just existed in the Matrix, and yeah, the Matrix XRS. Well, I mean, I could double check this. What the 2ZZ was in. ZZW30. What else was it in? All right, that immediately goes to the MR2. Toyota ZZ engine. Yeah, the 2ZZ GE. The Yamaha head. Toyota Celica GTS. Oh, it's in the GTS. Yeah, that'd be fun. That could be a replacement for you, but again, a Civic Si is an actual car, whereas a Celica is this little liftback. Pontiac Vibe GT, Japan. You know, Lotus Elise. Yeah, the options are not much. So
it's like, where are you going to find a Pontiac Vibe that's anything less than like 250,000 miles? At
exactly.
This point?
Cosma something or other says 2ZZ swap the MR2. That is a hard no. Hard no.
Hard no.
It's not worth the money. It's never worth the money. At most, it gets you 30 horsepower. It's not. Bernash says it's not fun. Matt Happel says it's not fun. The amount of fun you get out of that is not worth. It's not worth the money you put in.
Yeah.
The only way I could justify that for you is that if you buy one that's already swapped. And even then, you're going to have to wonder how well the swap is going to be done. And then Spin Faster says, buy a damn C5. Not going to lie. That's going to be way more power. And you can always sell it to another boomer. So, not that I'm calling you a boomer. You can always sell it to a boomer. Spins Faster says, call it a day and piss off your neighbors. I guess. How do you piss off your neighbors with a C5 unless you... The C5s aren't loud unless you put, you know, rumbly exhausts on them. And even then, you got to work hard to make that. Can you fit an LS4 into an MR2? Hey, you can do anything if you have the money. But no, it's not. You're going to have to hang that engine off the back. And even then, why would you do that? We got to have that guy who, he's moving to the States, but I think he's just moving to like North Dakota or something like that.
On purpose?
Yeah, well, from Saskatchewan, the guy who did the LS swap DeLoreans.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. He's doing it full time now. And it's just so hard doing it from north of the border because all of his clients are Yanks. So he's like, why don't I? It'd be so much easier to just move the business to the United States. So that's what he's doing. And I'd like to hang with him again. It was cool.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
The 2ZZ is IS300 for better fuel economy and less of a boat anchor. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're referring to. Plenty of room for golf clubs in the C5. I don't suggest, like, if you really want, you don't want the fixed roof coupe if you want to do stuff. If you want to use the C5 as a car, you should have the liftback or fastback. The one with the trunk is just, I guess if you're concerned about, no, just have the fixed roof. Just have the one with the lift back. I get it's more glass or something like that.
Yeah.
Since the IS300 has a 2GZ Vivo, weighs more than a 2ZZ. Still don't know what you're talking about switching the engine into. They're completely two different types of engines. 4-banger versus an inline 6.
Yeah.
Unless that's a 2GZE something. I get that. I'm just out of the loop. I'm like Donnie and Big Lebowski here. I'm half aware of the conversation you're having.
Yeah. I mean, at least it seems. I was trying to think of like stuff we might have seen in Georgia that would have fit more of the parameters of the person who initially asked the question.
Yeah.
But I realized like we were in a place in Georgia where there was nothing around. I mean,
remember that lady praying in the parking lot of the Food Lion?
Yeah.
That was very strange.
What type of was this, like a Jeep something or other.
It was like an old square body Ford Ranger, I think.
And it was running.
Yeah.
There were children inside of it.
It was rusty.
It was rusty.
It had a full metal bumper, like sort of an aftermarket bumper with like diamond plate on it.
Yeah.
But it was like an old car. It was just like an 89 or something like that.
And there was like, I want to say there was a man in there too, but either way, like she was on the back bumper.
Yeah,
on her
knees on the ground, exhaust hitting her in the feet.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lifted truck or anything. It was like just a regular old kind of farm-like truck. She's got like dipshit tattoos on her, like roses on her ankles and stuff like that. She's wearing like a stringer top, and she's just praying. I don't remember if she was steepling with her fingers or if her fingers were interlocked. I think they were interlocked, and she was like resting her head on her like thumbs and stuff. It was like I wanted to take a picture. But that would have been such a carpetbagger to do that.
Yeah, and
like look at this Southerner at like a low moment.
Yeah, I mean, I just felt so awful for that woman in that moment once the initial like what the fuckery of it passed. In the sense that like how hard do you got to be going through it in that moment to be in a Food Lion parking lot with the car running and you're like on your knees. I like
back by the tailgate. Something's falling apart. You have an 8th grade education trying to figure out 2020 issues.
I was just so lost in that, or I'm not lost, but like at a loss for, like part of me wanted to like ask if there was anything I could do, but I also know that like, not everyone, because I've been the person who asked, hey, is something wrong? And I've had people respond not too well to it before. Like, oh, who do you think you are? Blah, 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 blah. And I understand it. Like, don't get me wrong, because I know that we come from a point, especially me being like a dude, maybe the other people who I approach think I just want something else from them.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the same thing, but I just thought, man, to be in that position and to be so desperate in that moment that you're just falling to your knees in the parking lot, that it's just, I cannot imagine, what a person is going through. And then we walk in and there's like an 11 or 12-year-old walking around barefoot.
It's like that was the same night. I think that was the first night.
Yeah.
Because the first night you said, oh, this Dawsonville doesn't really feel like the South. And then a few moments later, fat child walks by in the Food Lion, no shoes on, pushing an empty, full-size shopping cart, no parents around.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
There it is. There it goes. Perfect.
There it is.
Maxi Bliss says, I bought a 2008 Accord 6MT off of your guys' videos. Thank you. I hope this is working out for you. Let me read the rest of this. Went all the way down to South Carolina from Indiana to pick her up. That was 2 years ago and 12,500 miles ago. I smile every day. Great. Wonderful. Fantastic car. Honda Accord 6MT. One of the unsung heroes. I saw one of them on the drive back on the highway, and it was completely dirty wheels, limo tint, fart can. I'm like,
nope.
That's why stock ones are so good, because people realize how good they are, and like, it would be better if. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah.
That's a J Series V6. It's as good as it's ever going to be. Your exhaust is helping it do dick.
It's like, is this for the car or is this for you?
Yeah.
It's like, come on now. Are you hungry or are you just looking for mouth pleasure?
Yep. Oh, I said that last night because I thought about eating a Fiber One bar as a candy bar last night. And I'm like, do you really want that? Or you just want mouth pleasure before you go to bed?
Yeah.
I just had a glass of milk.
Same, yeah, I'm doing the glass of water trick of like, okay, am I really hungry? Have a glass of water and then mull it over.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, no, not really.
Yeah, that's such a good movie. You drink an entire pint glass of water.
Yeah.
Okay, you still hungry? Or did you just want something in your mouth?
Yeah. Is your belly actually, craving sustenance?
You just had 2 bowls of food for dinner.
Yeah.
You had an entire dinner. You're still are you?
I had spaghetti with jackfruit meatballs, like those Jack and Annie's, like meatless meatballs. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
fucking fantastic.
Mhm.
You know, you get a little oil in there. You just
Got a
put
little
in your
bit
sauce.
what?
You know, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's such a great word. You know, I was fucking tip top magoo after I had the meatballs. You know, I put them in the sauce. You spin that sauce around you let it simmer for like 15 minutes. Then you take the thing and you put it in the pasta and then you swirl that around and you know all of a sudden you got
We're
yourself
ready
a
to
meal.
pull your fucking pants down and start eating monkey.
I mean, check it out, T. They got these meatballs. They ain't got no meat in them. I mean, you know, I'm just talking about what would yeah.
I think people on Frederick Newton's chat are talking about Andrew Tate. So all he does is just say inflammatory things and sell like a subscription to what, like a self-help?
Hustlers University.
That's what it is, and
I
it's
think
just a
what it's
whole
called.
bunch of platitudes.
Essentially, but I can understand why some people would be into what he's selling in the sense that like I don't get it, but I get how it would be appealing because it's a thought process mostly that I guess in a world where you're told constantly to take other people into consideration, it's a thought process that essentially says, no, just worry about you. And that's not but it's worry about you in a kind of toxic sort of way, or at least from
Yeah.
what I've gathered. Because the only thing that I ever see about Andrew Tate, it mostly comes up on like TikTok or Twitter or something. You know, you have to be terminally online to ever actually run in anything that the guy says,
Yeah.
despite the fact that all his stuff has been, you know, taken down, like his profiles and accounts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels like kind of a spinning sort of, you know, circuitry of just inflammatory ideas that are meant to be circulated.
Yeah.
Of, you know, women don't ever actually want to see men vulnerable, or you know,
Mm-hmm.
taking personal anecdotes and extrapolating them to infer a more universal experience.
Yeah.
It just seems kind of
Just
circular.
figured out like Eminem in the 90s. I'm just going to say stuff and question, profit.
Yeah.
Boris, thank you again for the generous
Thank
donation.
you so much.
A Honda Accord 6MT versus Camry V6. Is there a winner? Well, they're both front-wheel drive cars. The Accord Camry 6MT is there's a warning there on the phone. This may be the end of the podcast.
This might be the end of the
down to like
podcast.
20% battery here.
Let's see.
Low battery, 20% remaining. Is the video frozen? Yes. Cell phone died. Is this it? This may be it. Does my phone smell? No, that's just my face. Is the video frozen? Yes. Cell phone died.
Video's frozen, but we still have audio. So I guess let's quickly answer Boris's question.
Yeah, okay. I would say, so the video went down when the phone gave me the warning that there's 20% battery left.
Accord 6MT versus Camry V6. Is there a winner?
I have not driven a Camry V6. I don't know if the 6-speed Camry came in a V6. It might have. I know it came in the 4 because that's one I'd love to have as a giveaway car because I wholeheartedly believe in that car, even though I haven't driven it yet. I like the idea of a grandma car, an unassuming car that's quite fun to drive, and nobody gets it. It's a diamond in the rough. But I have not had time with it where I did have time with the Honda Accord 6MT. That one I thought was fantastic. I'll put them back to back. I mean, Honda makes the better feeling manual transmissions. They always have. You have to do stuff to a Toyota gearbox to make it feel good. And I'm not really talking about FRSs and 8.6s and stuff because that's really a Subaru gearbox, I think. Or at least Subaru had something to do with it, and they know how to make a manual transmission. So I think we're going to call it. So with a half tank of battery, we make it almost an hour. I think we've been going for an hour.
Yeah, about.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, that's a podcast.
All right, that's a podcast. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for joining us for the cell phone podcast. We will, hopefully next week, we will be doing stuff. The piano's probably still going to be here. So probably there's going to be wires everywhere next week because we'll move off that. And we'll have microphones over here, laptop over there. It's going to be a mess. But I'm not going back to those chairs.
No.
The Poangs are better.
Poangs.
Yeah.
Poang superiority.
So thank you to everybody who donates to our Patreon. You're allowing regular car reviews to exist as a larger channel than it really is. Thank you to everybody who donated to Super Chats. We'll be spending your money very wisely. Thank you to everybody who watches on Monday. You're helping us have a job. And thank you to everybody who participates in our car giveaways. As soon as we know who wins the Viper V10, or the Viper truck, we'll announce it. And those giveaways are allowing us to travel internationally. Next stop, which at the very worst it will be 2024, will be RCR Australia. I'm looking for at least 3 weeks in Australia. That's going to rule. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. And have a good night. Bye.
Have a good night.
And now I got to walk to my phone over here to press the button to find out how you do the phone. If I press the square, you got